Welcome back to another ChaoticCorp season, guys. Season 8. We're doing this one on Moon Knight. We got Scott. It's just me and Scott here today.
Yeah, boy. Welcome everyone to season 8, baby! Doing Moon Knight.
Oh
An
my!
obscure Marvel character that almost nobody knows about except for us diehard fans out there.
A lot of people didn't even know about Doctor Strange, but when the movie came out, everyone knew him and everyone loves him now. And the movie did fantastic. So, this show, I don't know, I have high hopes for, especially after what we just witnessed. This first episode, oh my gosh, this was great.
This was a great episode. It really does a great job of laying the foundation of what the show's going to be about, the core, what we're doing, what we're going to expect with it. It's honestly one of the best pilot episodes of a Marvel show we've gotten.
It really
Period.
is. It really is. They explained some stuff, in the first episode. They showed us him suiting up towards the end of the episode. I'm so happy about that because
I am too. I was like, yes, at least we get the suit. I was
exactly.
It took us almost the entire season of Captain America or Falcon and Winter Soldier to get his special Falcon suit.
Didn't come into the last episode. It got hinted in the episode, the second to last episode, and then the last episode we got to see it. So,
was it worth the wait? Yes, but I would like to see
definitely
more.
Worth the wait. I would have loved to see it more. All the more reason to just want us to get ready for Captain America 4, though.
Whenever that's coming out.
Right. Exactly. Who knows when we're gonna get the movie? I think they said maybe by next year, but no. I'm sorry. I take that back. It was not anywhere in the timeline for Phase 4, which we're in right now. It'll most likely be in Phase 6. But I'm definitely looking forward to the new Captain America movie.
I am too. I was like, it'd be interesting to see what they do with Falcon. They don't screw it up, and they clearly did not. And I love the whole. Go ahead.
The whole show was like a 7 out of 10 for me. Mainly because it was still good, because we got to see just Bucky being able to get out of his brainwashing supercell. They brought in a couple new characters, which I really liked, especially the highlight of it all being U.S. Agent and us being able to see his suit later on in the episode. Not to
that was
the
awesome.
very end, but you get what you get.
And that one we're going way off topic here for Moon Knight, but that one made a little bit more sense because he doesn't really turn into U.S. Agent until he gets, rejected, from the whole Captain America thing.
And he gets recruited by this new group, which we'll find out later. So.
Hydra, just saying.
No.
Anyways,
You're not wrong. But anyways, we are getting off topic. So, this whole episode of Moon Knight was thrilling. It was adventurous. It wasn't just about the character. There was, it wasn't just about him just beating up bad guys. It was, his origin story, more or less. Or more or less us figuring out who this character really is.
Because we don't... one thing I like about this, it gives us a few answers, but it doesn't give us all the answers. Because we're talking about, how apparently he might have been like this whole personality thing might have happened years ago. It might have just happened now.
Right.
So we don't know.
Right. For those of you who don't even know, Moon Knight was created in 1975. His first appearance was in a comic book series called Werewolf by Night. He was created by writer Doug Moench. I might have.
You mean Mensch?
No, it's Moench.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. I might have butchered.
Anyways, continue.
And the artist Don Perlin. So he's kind of almost like a monster hunter, per se. So my biggest thing about this show, and I was so confused in the beginning, when people started calling the main character Steven, and I was like, you mean to tell me that that's Stephen Grant? So then I had to do a little research, and I don't know all that much about Moon Knight, but I've read a couple of the comics, not like any of his first ones, though I do intend to start with the very first set of comics.
The omnibus did just come out, so I
Oh, it
recommend
did?
starting there.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
there's a
might
new.
get
I think
that.
they're like doing a reprint,
Oh, they are
and
doing reprints for this year. I looked that up.
that's because Marvel knows how to do reprints.
They
Shame
I
on you,
love them.
DC.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm gonna throw a little
Shame on DC, especially. What are you gonna do? Reset your universe for the 8th time?
Oh my gosh, that's one thing I do not like about the stick with one concert. Anyways, we're getting way off topic.
Anyways, so I kind of started freaking out because the show is really, the comics series is really about Mark Spector, who was born in Chicago, and obviously he was a mercenary, and they even
he's a
showed us
mercenary,
this in the show. So Mark Spector's a mercenary. His multiple personalities, are Jake Lockley, a taxi driver, and Stephen Grant, a billionaire. And we see later on in the show that Stephen Grant gets his own like Moon Knight personification, where he's got the suit and the mask and the white gloves.
He's like a business suit.
Yeah, and he's a detective. But Stephen Grant in the comics is a billionaire. You literally see in one of the panels Stephen Grant as Moon Knight pull up in a giant limo. It's so funny. He pulls up to a crime scene in a limo, and like totally the opposite of Batman. It's really funny.
Yeah.
But in this show, they are having you see through the eyes of Stephen Grant. Only Stephen Grant is in London, and he is a museum gift shop. He works in the museum gift shop.
I just had a crazy thought.
It's a crazy twist on the show. Mark Spector is really the alternate personality. We haven't found Jake Lockley yet. I feel like they might not do that, so they might just have it split between two. I'm sorry to keep cutting you off, but keep going.
No, you're fine. I just thought of an interesting theory about this show.
Go ahead.
What if each episode is a different personality? Like the first one is Steven. The next one's going to be about Mark and how he gets the suit and all that. How he gets his Moon Knight powers.
That's a good idea. That's a good theory.
The third one would be about Jake.
I love that.
And how he becomes... I would love to see them
but
do
we haven't
that. I think
found
that'd be
Jake
a great
yet.
idea.
We haven't found Jake
No,
yet.
we have not.
So
and it might take 2 and 2 and 2,
It might be a little bit for him to acquire it. It might still be like somewhere deep in his consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
But nonetheless, we got to see Khonshu. And we got to see...
Was it not Cerberus? I'm thinking of Roman. That's Roman.
That's a totally different thing.
That's a whole nother
I'm going to look up the crocodile.
Who was the dog one? Anubis?
That's Anubis. That one I know pretty well. Anubis. Set. It was the god Set. His god, it looks like he was kind of taken over by... or was it Sobek?
Oh, that'd be interesting. He's kind of like Moon Knight. He's been taken over by another Egyptian god, which would make sense. Because like Mark Spector, I think, was dying or like falls into a tomb.
That's what it is. That's how he gets his thing
he's
in the comics.
He's like, hey, you want to become a superhero? He's like, yeah. And then he just becomes Moon Knight.
It's Amut. Amut. I'm totally pronouncing that totally wrong.
And he's just like, yeah. He's just like.
But yeah, it's. Anyways, so we get to see Khonshu. He looks great. CGI is not that bad. It's pretty believable. There was a weird scene where they were going around the loop when he stole a ice cream truck. And you notice
the
this
cupcake truck, you mean?
Yeah, the truck with the logs. I mean, did you see it too? Because I saw it.
I did. Yeah, that was a little. I'm like, that's a little.
It was. I don't know. It was a little bit weird, but I'm just nitpicking. But the whole show for me, the whole episode so far is just great. I love it.
I'm right there with you. I'm like, I was going on this with very low expectations.
Really?
I thought I was gonna be. Well, I don't know much about the character.
That's true.
He's very obscure.
That's true.
And I'm like, this could be like the weaker one of the Marvel series, but I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is gonna be a great one. This is gonna be excellent.
I'm not.
This is also our first more mature Marvel show.
It really
I've been talking about
too.
this.
people were dying, getting punched in the face, and blood was on the characters' hands. And these guys were standing in the middle of the road, and these logs just came out of nowhere, or from the truck, and just smacked them in the face. And I'm like, that's pretty graphic too. And I'm like, that was awesome.
And this feels more like a horror, like especially that
It's
ending
supposed to be a little
scene.
bit of
It's,
yeah,
I guess, a
got a little bit of
thriller.
yeah, more
I
like
get
a
like
thriller, I feel like.
psychological thriller.
Yes.
I'm not like horror, like jump scares and all, but it feels more intense.
It's definitely intense, which is
Not your typical Marvel show.
it's so good with that though. It's really a step in the right direction for Marvel shows. So
It is.
them doing this makes me believe that it's only going to get better from here. Meaning, I had seen where they're going to either redo Daredevil or give him another season. Or what I mean by redo, I mean like go straight from No Way Home to the new Daredevil show. They might have the old shows. I don't know what they're going to do, but either they're going to have the old shows and then this new show, or they're going to just give him another season. I have no idea how the old
that
show
one
ended.
confuses me because they put Kingpin in
Yeah, you're
Hawkeye,
right. You're right.
and that's the same actor, and it seems like he's like the same character.
Yeah,
I mean, mainly he's like Kingpin is Kingpin and all.
he's got a different attitude in the Hawkeye show compared
Mm-hmm.
to the his attitude in the Daredevil show. So I don't know. I when now that you say that, I do feel like maybe they will just redo the show.
I hope not. That was a great. I haven't seen it yet, but
No, they're not gonna trash the old. They're gonna keep them, but they might do a redub. You know,
I could
maybe
see
not a
them
new
doing
origin story.
I think they could do a continuation where they're put into the Marvel universe.
That would mean that they would have to work on the alternate universe theory, though. That doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't. It just.
I
Doesn't
know
sit right
it's
with
kind of
me.
all up in the
You
air
realize
right
what
now.
I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, we saw a dog. I wish I knew the correct term for it, but it was kind of like we saw like some kind of monster at the end, and then I got the theory thinking that maybe this show is just gonna be Mark Spector going out as Moon Knight, and just killing monsters and also doing whatever they got planned for him. I feel like they're gonna put a bunch of monsters in here, like Egyptian monsters in here.
That'd be cool.
It would be very cool. It would kind of make sense. I don't know if he's ever really faced off against like monsters like that in the comics. I haven't come up to anything like that, but I don't know. You had a theory that. Why don't you tell me that theory about where they were at in that field?
Oh yeah, so this is a theory I read online. And but apparently the leading theory is that where he gets dumped in that scene where he's got like a broken jaw and the people are like swarming around and like acting very cult-like, supposedly because of the location and the way it's set up, the castle and the mountains around it, that is Latveria.
I love that theory. And I remember you told me when we were watching the show, and I was like, that's insane. That is an insane theory, and I'm all for it.
That would be awesome to get the Fantastic Four, who's been missing from the MCU, and we've had rumors about that.
They've already been confirmed to be at the end of this phase, if not the beginning of Phase 6. It's on the timeline, right after Blade.
I think it's possible, and we've already got a tease for Blade. I think it's very possible we'll get Marvel's first family, which is their
Eternals. Yeah. What do you mean by Marvel's first family? Are you saying that
That's
X-Men
like
is also a family? I know that. Yeah, you're right. You're right. They would be Marvel's first family.
And then X-Men, I would love to see an MCU version of the X-Men, a proper.
We're gonna get it eventually. It's just whether it's gonna be the year 2030 or 2025. Actually, years ago, back in like 2019, I think Phase 4 was still going on. Yeah, because Endgame had just ended. So they were speculating that I think it was Kevin Feige or some other higher ups in the Marvel area of Disney said that they weren't expecting any X-Men news until at least 2025. So
Makes sense. They want to get a really good cast together because you can't.
right.
I love we're getting way
It's
off topic on these things.
no,
but
no,
it's
no.
all
It's
connected.
it's just nerd talk. But another thing I want to go off on that, there was a theory. It makes sense because they have all this stuff planned. They just have books and stacks of paper on what they want to do next. You know, like I think they said that they've already got like the next 10 movies planned out.
Oh, that's incredible. That's one thing I always love about Marvel is that
it's also because
especially with their movies, it is so well planned out. It's like nothing ever done with movies before. I mean, like,
right.
I cannot think of another series except for like maybe Star Wars and Indiana Jones, but this is even more like interconnected.
It's very
and all
complex, if I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not even like sucking Marvel's dick or anything. I'm just saying straight up. I'm not even gonna be biased because there are DC stuff that I like. You know, there's people out there that just kiss ass with Marvel and Disney, but I like both. It's just I'm a little bit more fond of Marvel. But the theory was, I think I might have already said this to you or not, but the theory was even before Eternals came out, when we had kind of heard the news about the X-Men, was that because the Infinity Stones were used twice on Earth, do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of broke free some eternal, some of like the. Okay, let me restart. So because the Eternals, lore-wise, comic book-wise, I should say, the Eternals, and this is not from the movie, so I'm not spoiling anything for you. I wouldn't do that. Comic book-wise,
even if you did, I wouldn't care.
Okay, you should watch the movie. It's pretty good. I don't mind it. I give it like maybe like a 7 out of 10 if I'm gonna be honest with you. But comic book-wise, the Eternals, not the Eternals, the Celestials came to Earth, did experiments on people, and experimented on like monkeys, and created the Eternals, and or maybe just forget about the monkeys part, but they created the Eternals, and some Eternals had bad genes, which would have been I can't remember what the gene was called, but that's what created like the monsters. Why can't I think of the names? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, it's like the
Deviants. Okay.
Deviants, that's it.
Frick. Okay. So, you know, they made the Eternals and then they made the Deviants. Or no, they didn't make Deviants. Some of the Eternals had bad genes, thus came the Deviants. It's just kind of like a ballpark. I'm sure I'm kind of not getting this word for word, but I'm definitely not butchering it. So, but if anyone wants to correct me, that would be great. But so Thanos has a brother whose name is Star Fox, and Thanos, it's even been said in the comics that Thanos is technically a celestial or eternal, what have you, but he just had the deviant gene, but it didn't like corrode him, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It kind of still kept him human-like, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So, the Celestials doing all these experiments on just whatever, either they were creating or doing experiments, I don't remember which one it was. They were on Earth for a while and then left to go make new worlds and stuff. So when the Infinity Stones were used, because Infinity Stones can be wielded by Celestials, so the theory was that since it was used like twice on Earth, some of that radiant energy from the Celestials kind of is like in the atmosphere almost.
Oh.
And some people might get it and they get turned into mutants.
And they become X-Men.
They become
That'd
mutants.
be really cool.
So
that'd make a lot of sense.
You gotta ask somebody else because they can explain it a whole lot better than I can. But that's just like the basis of it, So
No, I like that. It makes sense how you could introduce them into the MCU.
Right. Just people years later are starting to get sick, and then they start developing these powers. Which, at the same time, you could introduce the Inhumans. But Inhumans are also from other planets. Oh, I'd love to see the
Inhumans. I love Black Bolt.
The Inhumans are from other planets, too. So, it begs the question, and I still am stumped on this, because I've been reading Miss Marvel before the show comes out. She had a tie-in with Wolverine and for a couple of issues, and a tie-in with some of the Eternals. Or Inhumans. And I'm just sitting here wondering... because of the way that Miss Marvel got her powers, I won't spoil it. I'll let the show explain it. I'm sure they might not get it right. I'm sure they're going to go in their own direction. But I'll just let you know if they do. But it begs the question, what's the difference between X-Men and Inhumans? Because I honestly still don't know.
So, I feel like I know this one.
The only question is that the only question why I'm asking that is because,
I think the better question is what's the difference between an Inhuman and Eternal? I think they're the same. X-Men are like more X-Men are like a lower level. The Inhumans are more like a godlike being. If that makes sense.
Inhumans are more godly. Eternals are more godly, not Inhumans. Inhumans have, I don't know. The only reason why I'm asking this is because when I was reading the comic. I'm not going to spoil too much of it, but Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, was walking throughout the sewers with Wolverine. I don't remember how in the heck they met, but they were just... Wolverine was just kind of helping her. And they got out of the sewers because they were trapped. They were like fighting somebody. And then eventually she gets out, and... somehow Captain America's there, and he takes them to the hideout of the Inhumans, and they're right over on top of New York. So, like, there you have the Baxter Building, which is the Fantastic Four. Then you have the Avengers Tower, and then you have the Inhumans, like, almost
for some
like
reason, I thought they were on the moon for some odd reason.
No, I think they were before, but then they moved because Black Bolt, I think he had a thing on the moon made out of vibranium that Black Panther had given him so that he could speak.
Yeah, because he like even a whisper can like kill somebody.
Yeah, I know. Do you remember, I think it was like the CW, someone attempted to do the show and they didn't do it very good, and it only had like 5 episodes and it got canceled.
Yeah.
You remember that, right?
I do. That was a shame.
The Eternals movie was supposed to come out sometime last year, apparently. There was supposed to be a movie, and then because of the show, it got so much backlash, they stopped. They just stopped. I have no idea if they have any plans to redo it in the future, but if they do, if Marvel gets their hands on it, and along with Disney, they'll knock it out of the park. I just don't remember what company attempted that, but
yeah, it was like I think maybe like the same people that did Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
That was Netflix, but I feel like it was also the CW. But the show was on Netflix. Let me look that up. Who did Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I want to say it was ABC or one of those companies, and then like once the death of Cable happened, people were like, "Yeah, we're just gonna give this."
The
Netflix.
What? I'm sorry. What?
The death of Cable.
Cable was in the show?
No. TV Cable, not.
Oh,
Cable.
I'm sorry.
I would love to see Cable.
I need to see that.
Crazy. I do need to see that movie with him in it, Deadpool 2.
It's weird because I remember we talked about this like maybe on last season podcast. If you want to talk technicality, because I know that Tristan thinks this, I don't feel it, but Marvel has yet to come out to say that it's true, that the Punisher, the Defenders, and Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and Daredevil, all the Netflix shows are considered canon to the MCU. I don't think that, and the only thing linking them to that was the Daredevil show had in season 1 there was a picture of the New York attack, like after the attack, like one of the dead space dragons. You know what I'm talking about? Were like laying on top of the buildings. It was just
The thing
dead.
that Hulk or the Iron Man went into. He's
Yeah,
like,
it
my
was
dude,
just-
Jonah the whale.
I don't even think they gave him a name, but yeah, it was like a whale. It was like a space whale. We're just gonna call it a space whale. They gave that thing. They took a picture of it, dead, laying on top of a building. You saw the same shot in the movie, as it died, as they blew up the space station. So, yeah, that's the only thing really linking them to that. But
Well, and then now we have the cameo of Charlie Cox as Daredevil.
that's true. But at the same time, I feel like because they announced that they were gonna be redoing the show, that's no longer valid. The only reason why they're on Disney Plus is because they're Marvel shows and Disney bought them from Netflix. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I mean, it could go either way, honestly.
It really could. I guess. But
I think they have a gold mine there that people just want them to continue.
I really don't want them to consider those canon because there's so many. I don't know. I don't know why I don't. I want
I think
everything
they
to
should
be
just-
neat and uniform, if that makes sense.
I think it could be canon, but it's like a different timeline, like its own
Oh
kind
my
of like a
gosh.
parallel universe.
I just realized that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was created by Josh Whedon.
Oh,
Josh Whedon?
yeah, I know. He's gotten a lot of flack recently, so with the whole
I can't remember
Justice
who-
League.
Oh, yeah,
movie.
it was Justice League, yeah. The Justice League. is what they
Justice
called it.
League.
The Justice League. Yeah, no. What I was gonna say before, if you want to technically call Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. canon because of everything else that I just pointed out, then technically, freaking Ghost Rider, Robbie Reyes' Ghost Rider that has the car, is considered canon. So
Oh,
I
that'd
don't
be
think they
so
want to do that yet.
cool.
I don't think they want to do that yet.
Oh,
So
I'd love to see Ghost Rider. He's
I
another character I've been
I
missing.
feel like, well, it was really funny because everyone really loves. Hold on, pause.
Nick Cage's Ghost Rider.
No. Hold on.
You were like, no. What, you don't like the Cage Man?
Hold on. Norman Reedus. Okay, everyone loves Norman Reedus. Everyone would love for Norman Reedus to play Ghost Rider, and I'm all for it too. He looks
be down.
badass. He acts badass. I think he's a perfect fit. But he was on live with some big influencer, that talks about like shows like this and such, and Norman Reedus was on there with him, and he was like, what do you think about everyone's he was like, what do you have to say about all the rumors talking about how you would be a great Ghost Rider? And he was like, oh man, I'd love to be in a Disney Marvel team up. I would love to be Ghost Rider. It would be great. And he was like, listen, if you know anyone at Disney, hit him up, let him know. And I was like, that's cool, but I don't know if that's gonna happen though. It would be a perfect fit. The fans would go crazy, but they gotta be on board too. You know what I mean?
I mean, people want to see him.
People really
I think it'd be
wanna
funny. I
see
think
him.
I do think it'd be funny if they had Nick Cage in there, just like
at
least a cameo. You know what I'm saying?
He
Like,
could be the original Ghost Rider because if we remember
He
from
could,
the
and then
Nicolas
get-
Cage
and then-
movie, the original Ghost Rider on the horse, he was the first. So hold on, let
give
me-
him the reins. You know, like,
right.
hey kid, I'm giving you the keys to the kingdom. You know,
Hold on, pause real quick.
don't screw it up.
Right, pause real quick. Hold on.
And just like winks at him and then like disappears. I think that'd be really funny. Anyways, back to Moon Knight.
Okay, yeah, back to midnight.
Great episode.
What did you
Funny.
What did you really like about this episode so far?
I like that it didn't give us everything. I like that it gave us
No, I feel like it gave us everything. It gave us
well,
a
not
suit. It gave
not
us-
his origin. We haven't seen
Oh.
we haven't seen the
You're right.
detective version of Moon Knight.
You're right. Well, no,
We don't know
that
anything about
comes
this
later.
villain.
That comes later.
So I'm excited. I think it gives us just enough to keep us like, ooh.
It really
So,
did, didn't it? Yeah, it really kept me glued to the screen. Like I was at awe out of the moments when he would go in and out of consciousness, and then he would wake up, obviously going into his Mark Spector persona, who is Moon Knight, and then going back to Stephen Grant. I love the twist that it is Stephen Grant's perspective and not Mark Spector. I probably already said that before at the beginning of this podcast, but I just really think it's great so far. Yeah.
Never thought a Moon Knight show, a character that nobody really knew about, would be this good. I mean, like, come on.
Well, hey, crazier things have happened.
This is insane. Crazier
things have happened. Like, when they announced back in 2017, maybe 16, the title for Black Panther came out and what it would look like. And I was like, this looks like it's fan-made. And then I had to do a lot of digging, and turns out that they were coming out with a Black Panther movie in 2018. And I was like, that's amazing, because I had already been reading on the up and up on Black Panther, and he was already one of my favorite comic book characters. Him in the movie, not so much, I'm going to be honest with you. It was definitely overhyped. But that just goes to show, like I said before, crazier things have happened where characters that you can't imagine on the screen come to the screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Black Panther, he would have been a safer character because, he is a black superhero. There are not many of them out there mainstream.
That
but Moon Knight,
forced the quality. I love Black Panther, but, like, I get what you're saying. But yeah, no.
Anyways. So, and I'm really excited about the Werewolf of Night, or Midnight, I can't remember the name.
Werewolf by Night.
Werewolf by Night. That's a lot of fun. I'd love to see Blade. I'd love to see an MCU Blade. I think that's a great character they haven't done yet.
Have you not seen the timeline? The timeline for Phase 5 has Blade in it.
Awesome.
They're doing a Blade movie, like, next year, 2023.
Ooh.
So, it's Marsala Ali, right?
Yeah, he's going to be really good at that.
His first name, it's not Marsala, it's Masala, I'm pretty sure, but
I think he's going to do great with the role.
He looks good. They have him all up in costume. Just look it up online. He looks great.
I think I might have seen him. Like, damn, this looks really good. I am curious, though. I know we're kind of like spinning off to the MCU or MCU questions. I'm curious to see who they're going to get to play Wolverine, if they do, like, because there've been talks about, like, them doing a mini series.
Oh, really?
And Daniel Radcliffe's not doing it, so I'm curious to see who they're going to get.
Why would
he's not going to do it.
Why would Daniel Radcliffe do it?
I don't know. There was just like this one.
Daniel Radcliffe, is Harry Potter, right?
I know. There's like this one funny internet theory, like, what if Harry Potter became the Wolverine because he's short?
Oh.
And he's like, no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, he just doesn't have the attitude for it. If I'm gonna be honest with you,
no,
Wolverine
he does
is
not.
angry. He's cocky. He's just great. He's strong-willed and everything, and he's persistent. He's stubborn. I don't see that in Daniel Radcliffe. Hugh Jackman played the part great, and I know it's
he's perfect.
Everyone says that. Everyone just says, "Oh, Hugh Jackman, Hugh Jackman this, Hugh Jackman that." It's true, but I really don't think it's really just nostalgia. We'll never get the same feeling from someone else playing Wolverine unless it's Hugh Jackman, and I want to be able to step outside of my comfort zone and say that, yes, I want to try this character and see how well they do. But I'm also scared because of the reputation that he has left behind for the character.
Mm-hmm. I understand completely.
It's just...
I think if they get a young, kind of like, I almost want to say like a nobody, like somebody who's never...
Yes, I get exactly what you mean.
Somebody, we don't know at all.
Somebody posted on Instagram years ago a picture of some dude who was short, like Wolverine's like actual height, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. Which is like 5 feet. He's not. He's really short.
I'm pretty sure Hugh Jackman's pretty tall. I think Hugh Jackman's 6 foot.
That was the one thing that was uncommon. It was like the one disconnect between the comic book character and Hugh Jackman's character was that he was like 6'2", and in the comics he's like 5 or like 4'11".
Right.
So he's because like I've read some of the original Wolverines. He is short. I mean, he is.
I think he's either 5 or 4 foot. It's
yeah,
crazy when you read it, but.
And it makes sense with his character because he's like this like little badger just running around just murdering people with these huge blades on his hands.
Exactly. Well, actually, it would be Wolverine, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, Wolverine. Yeah, they're all the same.
I'm pretty sure they're part of the same family, but.
Oh yeah.
Whatever family that is, but anyways, yeah. The post was some guy. I guess he had been in a couple like TV shows. I guess the guy had been in like a couple TV shows.
Yeah, they get somebody who has some experience, but who's relatively a nobody, who looks just like him, and is a passion for playing the character. I think they'll do great.
Yeah, it's just they gotta experiment before they bring it onto the big screen. Like, in all honesty, I trust them, but at the same time, I'm scared.
And honestly, I'd wait to do X-Men. I'd like try out a few other things like they're doing now. Like they're doing a great job with Moon Knight. We'll also talk about our favorite part of the Moon Knight too. I think if they do more of the horror, like Werewolf of Night, I think Dracula would be a great addition too.
There was
we're bringing in Blade.
Yeah, there was high speculation that Ethan Hawke was going to be Dracula, and I was like, I didn't know he faced off against Dracula in the comics, if I'm going to be honest with you. But
Dracula actually had his own comic book series called Tomb of Dracula, and that's where Blade made his first appearance.
Oh, solid.
Yeah, so...
But when I think of Dracula, I automatically go to Morbius, the living vampire.
Oh,
like, how is Morbius not Dracula? You know what I mean? Because, like,
it's
Morbius. He's powerful. He's it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then you just have Dracula, who's his own
I think
dude.
the only thing is Morbius is kind of, I think now, more of a...
He's an
anti-hero?
villain.
At least that's the direction of Marvel's.
He's not a hero.
Yeah.
He's not a hero. He's either
correct.
He's an anti-hero or an anti-villain. I think an anti-villain. I know they kind of sound the same.
Is this like a villain with like good intentions but does it the wrong way?
That actually makes sense. It might be he might be an anti-villain. Because like I remember he first faced off against Spider-Man. That was his first appearance.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the year. I couldn't tell you.
It was like in the 60s or 70s.
He
was one of the early.
Probably the 70s.
Because he was like, I remember watching the TV show, and he was the one that had the cure. So in the Spider-Man 90s animated series, it's a great show.
I've started watching the first couple episodes.
Morbius has like this cure, like can help Spider-Man, because Spider-Man's becoming more of a spider. That's why he's got like 4 arms.
They went in that direction with the show.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And he's got the cure, and he needs to go to Morbius because he's like this giant, literally a face of a spider on top of like a human body. It's crazy. It's insane, but it's really well done.
That's like a variant almost. If you were to read the Web of Spider-Man or the Clone Saga.
Oh yeah, I have the Clone Saga. I need to read through them. I've been excited.
I'm pretty sure you would see like Madam Web. You would see, obviously Gwen, Spider-Gwen, Miles Morales, obviously Spider-Ham. All the ones that we've seen in the movie on Netflix, into the Spider-Verse. But I'm pretty sure you would also see, that version.
Actual Spider-Man, like Arachnid Man.
Yeah, I think it's Arachnid Man. I'm not sure what that version of
I'll call him that. Called, but, I like that.
There's this funny version. It's Spiders, plural, Spiders Man.
Oh yeah, it's the one that's actually made.
It's just a bunch of spiders that form into a person
so
into
weird.
the suit.
It's so weird.
So it's kind of my arachnophobia is kind of kicking in right now.
Yeah, I'm like, oh. Stay away! I would not do any crime in that city if that was like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Just like, stay away from me.
But anyways,
here's all my money. Scene in SpongeBob.
Right. But anyways, back to the show real quick. Let's end it. What would you give this first episode?
I'd give it a solid 8.
Solid 8?
Great introduction. My only complaint was I wish we got to see Moon Knight fight a little more.
Yeah.
And I wish it was a little, I think maybe like longer, and I feel like all the questions they have unanswered is going to get answered later on.
Oh, definitely.
So it's definitely a sequel pilot, sequel driven show.
Right. The suit was good. The fighting, it was good.
A couple bad CGI moments like we talked about.
Yeah, they'll touch it up. The multiple personality thing was great. Him not even knowing made it 10 times better.
That was
and
awesome.
Then him finding out.
I'm just like, what?
Right. So, what did you say you would give it?
8.
Okay.
Solid
I'm
8.
probably right there with you. So, yeah. This episode was amazing. Definitely go give it a watch. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us on the very first episode of Season 8 of ChaoticCorp Podcast. You can follow me at twitch.tv/hotpocket61. Scott, I know you have some stuff to plug in there.
You can follow me right here at the ChaoticCorp YouTube page, and we're also on Spotify. So please go follow us there.
We
Spotify is
are on Spotify.
Great platform for us. You can listen to us offline too if you have premium user.
Oh, yeah.
You can also find me at Instagram at s.simpson21.
We are also on Discord. Join the Discord. We're also on Reddit. Give us a look there. Not much going on there yet, but we're just, building the community. But anyways,
we are building an army of fans.
Yes, that would be great. Thank you for listening. Tune in next week for the next episode.